hate the homies.
Yo, what up, man? And welcome to I Hate the Homies podcast. One more again, episode 36. I would be Rock Teasy for Sheezy.
Man, it's your boy GRIFF, and as you can see, I am driving to Atlanta. My family and I are moving to the A, and I hate the homies.
It's your boy Super Dave. But guess what? We don't care about them numbers that you always give each week. And I'm glad you didn't have them this week. Thank God.
Who's number 36, bro?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
So wait a minute. Let's address the elephant in the room.
Even the dog in the background don't want to hear his number.
You literally moving for real. Like, what's all that in the back of your ride, dog? Besides the dog.
I got my two dogs, my 3 dogs. I got my wife. That's my dog.
All right.
I got my 2 dogs and my wife, and we filled the truck up a little bit, but you can see it's a U-Haul. We got a U-Haul attached, but really our house stuff is in 2 of them big pod things, and that'll come to the house later.
So he's lying to Rock. He's lying to you. The bottom line was when we made that TCU Michigan bet, we left something off the table. We didn't tell everybody all the business.
Yeah.
It was $20, and if TCU wins, you get your ass out of Dallas. And your ass is getting out of Dallas.
Hey, Super Dave and ran GRIFF out of Dallas, man.
Get your ass out of here. Get out of here.
Oh man, it is funny, and that's your wife's dog because Big GRIFF with a poodle.
Oh no, dog.
Hey, when you look at GRIFF, you think he probably got a Rottweiler or a pit bull or something. He running around town with a damn poodle.
It's so cute. It's so cute.
I got a standard poodle that'll be 13 months on the 29th and weigh 50 pounds, and I got a Jack Russell Terrier that'll be 14 in March. But here go the funny part. I'm about to put the poodle in German Shepherd police school because she that big. And real, she could knock me down. She going to be the first poodle to go to German Shepherd school. Watch.
I ain't mad at you, dog. Hey, I used to have a Jack Russell dog. I love them Jack Russell Terriers.
Oh, yeah.
They fun dogs.
Rock, you said it. Just say what it is. It's a poodle.
At the end of the day, it's a damn poodle.
He can change all that stuff he wants to. He got a poodle behind him.
All right, man, let's get into it, man. We're gonna recap NFL divisional round playoffs, man. We got Shannon Sharpe with the situation he got into it with Ja Morant's dad, a couple of players in his apology, and Coach Ed Reed out at Bethune Cookman University. He just got in and he's already about to be out, if I'm not mistaken. So let's get into it, man. We may touch on the Eryka Badu and her daughter Puma, comparing their little rear ends or whatever. So we got time.
That's a lot of meat to put in a pot, boy. I can tell you that now.
We may have to start off with that one, right? But we'll see if we can get to it, man. On that note, Ray Duggar, let's go.
I hate the homies.
Okay, so we got the NFL divisional round playoffs that took place, and where you want to start, man? I kind of want to get right into the Cowboy situation.
No. Let's save the Cowboys. Let's go to the Jacksonville. Let's do it in the order that they came on.
Okay.
Let's do the Jacksonville game first.
Well, the Jacksonville game is gonna be quick because we all knew Kansas City was gonna win that doggone game.
No, but I'm gonna tell you like this. I think we all thought like what you just said, Rock. We all thought this was gonna be the worst game of the weekend between Kansas City and Jacksonville, but it was more interesting than what people think. I mean, Jacksonville was in the game all the way to the fourth quarter, even before Patrick Mahomes went out with the high ankle sprain, and that's a big question mark right now. He never wanted to come out the game. He was fighting with his coach, fighting with the trainers. They did the X-ray. They brought him back out on the field. I'm like, he getting back out on the field. He wants to win this game, but I'm gonna give Jacksonville the credit. They're due. They went on a winning streak. They beat the LA Chargers a week ago, but after playing Kansas City the way they did, they were 2 plays away from probably winning this game.
Agreed.
2 plays late in the fourth quarter They were in the game driving at the 5-yard line when Agnew fumbled the ball at the 5 at Kansas City's 5-yard line. You're in the game. Once that happened, the wheels fell off for Jacksonville. And then the next series they had, that's what Trevor Lawrence threw the interception. Game over.
Yeah, it's safe to say that Jacksonville is for real, and it wasn't no fluke that they got into the playoffs. They plan. I can't put my finger on why this team is a good team. Like you can say Trevor, you can say defense, you can say all these other things, but I can't put my finger on one thing that says this is why they're a good team. Can y'all?
Yes.
I loved the running back. I thought Kansas City got shook by Jacksonville's running game from the beginning to most of the game. I think the cohesion, I mean, the running back really was hurt his rookie year. This is second year. So him and Trevor Lawrence both came out of Clemson. So they homeboys. They've been partners for the last 5 years. I think it's the coach, Doug Peterson. It's that glue he has with those young men who everybody really thought is just going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars and be sorry. And Coach Urban Meyer came over here and did exactly what we knew he was going to do, and y'all always going to be Jacksonville. For that boy to throw 4 interceptions and win a playoff, Trevor Lawrence Sunshine, should always be remembered as the one you can't count out now.
Come on now.
I think you just hit it. I mean, you said you can't put your finger on it, Rock, but I think it's coaching. That's number one. Give Peterson his due. But I also think it's Trevor Lawrence. And then you got a bunch of young guys who believe. They never thought they were out of a game. And then they had a chance to see last season how bad it could be when Urban Meyer was over this football team. I mean, they were horrible.
That was a hot mess right there.
He was horrible as an NFL coach. And we all know that. They got leadership now, and it's a different team.
That's right.
Well, speaking of Peterson, let's talk about his old team, the Philadelphia Eagles, who pretty much demolished the Giants. I thought New York was going to put up a better fight. I'm just going to be honest with you, man.
This was the worst game of the weekend.
Yeah, man. I kept waiting for the Giants to do giant things, and just like out of nowhere, they still in it, or they got back in it, but nah.
Well, see, we played with fool's gold watching the Giants because they haven't beat Philadelphia all season long. We can sit up here and say, they lost 2 straight games to them, but then we saw what they did against Minnesota. Minnesota was a fluke. Minnesota was not a great team. They had a great record, but a lot of close games, they easily could have lost. But when you look at Philadelphia, it looked like the old Philadelphia we saw at the beginning of the season. I don't know if that was more Philadelphia or that the Giants was that sorry. And Daniel Jones went back to being Daniel Jones again in that game.
Go ahead.
Dave said they look like fool's gold. You know them necklaces that you can buy 5 yards of in the middle of the black mall? You can just go to the kiosk and say, let me get 7 feet of herringbone. That's how the Giants look.
Like, that's the perfect name for the Giants, Fool's Gold. Like, that's the perfect nickname. I got to give you that one there, doggone.
And they got a lot of questions now, so I'm pretty sure they're going to re-sign Daniel Jones because he did have a pretty good year compared to what he's had the last couple of years with the Giants. And then what do you do with Saquon Barkley? I mean, do you pay him the kind of money that the top running backs are getting paid right now? Because he is injury prone. You have to think about all that. The Giants are in a different situation. But Philadelphia, I got to give them the props. I wanted to see Dallas and Philadelphia, but Philadelphia did their part on their end, and I think they're unstoppable. I think one team can stop them. They're not unbeatable, but if they play like they did against the Giants, they're hard to stop.
So you think Philly gonna get past San Francisco? Is that what you're saying?
Well, we got to get to the game. We got to get to the other games first.
Okay.
Before we even go to the San Francisco game, and even though this brother is in our division, and I'm a fan of his stature, I never seen Patrick Mahomes be mad before. So for him to throw his jacket
Right, yeah.
I was like, okay, Patrick Mahomes, there's a little anger.
Yeah.
There's somebody in there. You
that's
got just in
leadership.
Kansas City having babies.
Yeah. But that's leadership. That's what you want. That's what you want to see out of your quarterback.
But Griff is right. We ain't never seen that happen, so it shook us a little bit because, man, especially as a light-skinned homie, he ain't never getting mad. He ain't never showed no, come on, we can get mad too. We can get mad too. Let's go. So when he did that, I was like, let's go. I was like,
I never
ready
liked
to put
y'all
the
pretty
gloves
asses
on, man.
anyway. Griff, I never liked their pretty asses anyway.
But look, Dave, that's how we knew he was really hurt. Because if the coaches and the athletic trainers is saying, no, dog, and you saying, no, I'm fine. No, dog, we can't have no tour problems with you, and we going to win this game, and we going to need you for a couple more games. But to see that, I don't know, as a Chiefs fan, and then really, that game was 27-20. Like Dave said, Jacksonville's a couple plays away. But now let's start looking at Jacksonville for winning the AFC North. You know what I'm saying? Now it goes through Jacksonville. Houston ain't got nothing. I don't even think the Colts gonna have a quarterback next year. And then the Titans will let you down if you from Nashville.
The only thing I'll say is that what you said, most of it's true. But I think we take it year to year with these teams. Just like last season, the Raiders were pretty good, and everybody came into this season. I'm not trying to take a shot at you, man. I'm just making a point. I'm just using your team as an example. We all thought the Raiders were going to be better this year.
Always use the Raiders as an example, dog.
Yeah, because they're trash at the end of the day.
All right, well.
Let's get to Sunday's games.
Cincinnati and Buffalo, man. Now, let me go ahead and start off this little situation because I have Buffalo going to the Super Bowl and being Super Bowl champions.
Winning it all.
Man, look, this is one of those situations that Joe Burrow, look, I'm on record of saying he's the closest thing that we have in the league right now that's going to be compared to Tom Brady. Now, he's not going to win as many Super Bowls as Tom Brady, but when it comes to talent at quarterback, Joe Burrow is the real deal. And as much as I respect that dude and I'm always bragging on him, I still thought Buffalo was going to find a way to pull it off. They didn't. Cincinnati, listen, man, that team right there is a good team. And I just had to bow down and say, they belonged in the Super Bowl last year, and don't be shocked if they look like they rolling. They may get Kansas City because they beat Kansas City 3 times, right? In the last 3 times they played them.
Yep.
So, and sometimes you can say, can you beat the same team that many times at this high level? Sometimes you're just a better team. Period. It is what it is. That's my thoughts.
I watched that whole game. I was saying, by the time they showed, we were saying the spirit of DeMar. They showed him at the game going like this and all that snow. They said he went and talked to him at the half, but at the half they was losing. If I was them players at the half, I'd have been like, why don't you go back up top and finish making hand signs and leave us alone?
And that's what just happened.
Alone. We are out here losing right now. And then let's put all the blame on Josh Allen's ass. Josh Allen let down the whole city of Buffalo. He looked just like the Josh Allen that was in South Dakota, and he was all over the place. I never seen him play more nervous. It's like he played nervous the whole game.
You know what?
He was happy feet. That's not him at all.
But I think it was more. I think you have to give Cincinnati defense credit in that defensive line. He had happy feet because he was getting pressured in all different directions. He couldn't get the ball down the field like he wanted to. They stopped him from running. That's been a key for him all season long. It's been him running the ball like a running back. They eliminated that. They made him a quarterback. And to me, he's been great all year. He's not an MVP. He's not my MVP. I never thought they were going to go to the Super Bowl. I never thought they would get past Cincinnati, and I was proven right. Cincinnati is a better team. Buffalo is a good team. But I think when they lost Von Miller on the other side, when they lost him during the regular season, it changed the whole entire defense. The pressure they were putting on quarterbacks wasn't the same like when Von Miller was out. And I told you at the beginning of the season, he was going to be the difference, and he didn't play. He's been hurt. He's on the injury report.
Speaking of changing the sound and changing things up, Griff, put your doggone phone on mute right now until it's time for you to talk, because your phone fell, and when you picked it back up, now we can hear the wind on the highway. So when you ready to talk, just put your finger up. We'll shut up and let you take it off mute.
Well, let's give Joe Burrow his credit and the Cincinnati Bengals. And the one thing Joe said, this team is better than what they were last season.
I think our O-line is better. I think our run game is better. I think our defense is better. I just think our special teams is better. We're just overall a much better team than we were last year.
He said it. He's right. I mean, for you, listen, this is a tough league. And for you to get as far as you've gotten again, and you one game away from getting back to the Super Bowl, he's right. I mean, the team must be better. It has to be. But look, Stephon Diggs, he's being tore up on social media because he went on social media and he expressed his frustrations. And let me go ahead and see what he said, man. He pretty much was like, on social media, they want me to be okay with losing. Nah, I'm good. And here's the deal. Okay, he was seen on the sidelines with his hands out. You could tell he was going back and forth, share some words. He was frustrating words.
He was doing the TO.
Sharing some frustrating words with his quarterback, Josh Allen. And then he went on Twitter to say what he said. Look, no, you don't have to accept losing, Stephon Diggs. Yes, you can be frustrated for losing. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a way that you handle it. Go sit down next to Josh Allen on the bench, pull him aside, and just say, "Hey, bro, you good? What can I do to kind of help make things better with my duties, whatever? You straight, man. You Josh, man. We good. Let's keep fighting. Look for me a little bit. See, there's a way you can have a conversation to uplift your quarterback. You follow me? Because we all know quarterback is gonna get the praise when they win, and he gonna be the blame when they lose most of the time. So if I'm his teammate and he's struggling, instead of doing all this, showing him up, I'm gonna go sit down with him and just say, "Hey, man, everything cool? We good, man. Let's go. We got time. Let's get back in this thing and uplift him." That's just me. He could have handled that better.
I think the wide receivers are so funny because they just be yipping and yapping. Chad Ochocinco is the main.
They're just like comedians. They're just like comedians.
If nobody throw you a ball, you're gonna be the dumbest person on the whole team. You would think your relationship with the quarterback would be a.
See, yep. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. Come on, keep going, dog. You back?
I'm back. You would think their relationship with the quarterback would be amazing because if you don't throw me nothing, I'm not out here doing my job. And I want you to expand on that TO part, Dave, because he was in Dallas doing the same thing.
He was in Dallas doing the same thing. He was in San Francisco doing the same thing. He was in Philadelphia doing the same thing. We've always seen TO do that kind of thing. But most wide receivers are what? They're divas. And no matter what you see on the field, no matter what that quarterback is going through, which Josh Allen was going through a lot on Sunday. I mean, he had pressure every single place, and he was getting hit. So I don't give a damn. If I'm the quarterback, I'm looking at Stephon Diggs going, I don't give a damn what you're saying. You ain't taking the hits I'm taking right now. I want to get the ball to you. I want to win. But Diggs made it look like he didn't want to win, like he threw the game. No, they were playing a better team. That's the end of the day. You were playing a better team, and they were well prepared.
And let's also take in consideration, you got to give props to the defense. Man, they had one. They had a defensive back underneath Diggs. They had a safety coming on top. He was getting double teamed. So you and as a quarterback, okay, sometimes you got to throw the ball up and let your receiver make a play if it's one-on-one. But if you got 2-3 players on you as a quarterback, I can't throw your way as often as I would like. So you got to take that into consideration as well.
Hey, Rock, the Bengals did an amazing job knowing who they were playing. Now, I wanted to pose this to y'all because I've been listening to podcasts and sports shows on this drive. Do you think the Damar Hamlin everything did something opposite of what we were saying? You know, we were saying spirit of Damar is over for everybody.
I told y'all
spirit
that
of
last week.
But do you think, I mean, because I'm watching that game, that wasn't the same team that played the Bengals, and then the game stopped on that Monday night, and it just, or that Sunday, it just wasn't the same team. Like, they didn't look like they had a plan. Yeah, the Bengals looked like they had a plan, dog.
But I disagree. It was the same team that we saw on that Monday night before it had to end when Hamlin went down. Cincinnati was moving the ball up and down the field on Buffalo.
Look.
And Hamlin survived. We're all blessed and we're all thankful for that. But at the end of the day, Cincinnati didn't want to hear that. At this point, it's all about going to the Super Bowl, right?
Look,
at the end of the day.
Listen.
And look, what did the NFL do right before this game? They found a spot for the AFC Championship game because they thought it was going to be who? Buffalo and Kansas City. Right. And sold 50,000 tickets to Atlanta to try to get that stadium filled, and that is like fools because Cincinnati's going, y'all forgetting about us. We were in the Super Bowl last season. Y'all just walking us out.
That's
y'all
what they get, dog.
Kansas City.
Yeah,
you're right.
Look,
you're right, Dave. They acted like them boys was not in LA, dog, in February. They sure did, dog. You're right.
Listen, and I'm gonna say this, then we'll move on to the Cowboys San Francisco game. As much as even if the unfortunate situation with Damar Hamlin would not have happened, Cincinnati still would have won that game, bro. I mean, Cincinnati was just a better team on that day, and they showed it. They showed up and showed out. But I do agree with what Griff said. I think it backfired because all those players, it's just my opinion, in their conscience, it's like our teammate literally died on the field and again at the hospital and cardiac arrest or whatever, and that could be me. I mean, I'm one hit away from that happening to me possibly. So yes, I think that was a mental situation that might have been in some kind of the aura of the team or whatever. But even if that didn't happen, Cincinnati still would have won that game.
They were the better team. And Cincinnati's coming off of winning 11 games straight. 11 games straight. They are the better team, end of the day.
Period. So let's talk about the team that is not the better team, which is the Dallas Cowboys. We'll get into that next. All right, Super Dave. Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers. You got Mr. Irrelevant versus Dak Prescott, his time could be very limited over this he could be out of Dallas after next year.
Man.
He could be out of Dallas after next year. Like, man, I'm just going off of the history of Jerry Jones. One, Jerry ain't getting no younger. Okay. Two, they hadn't won a Super Bowl since what, 95, 96. So Dak is his guy, but that's his best option that he had. And I love Dak. Let me put this out there. I love Dak.
Me too.
But the later part of this season version of Dak of auto interceptions, and I don't know if Jerry Jones is going to have confidence to keep him as his starting quarterback after next year. I mean, unless he goes out next year and puts up an all-world type year, that could change things. But just going off of right now, I wouldn't be surprised if he's already thinking about, listen, if next year was already here, I wouldn't be surprised if Jerry Jones said, Tom Brady, come on, bro. And we'll go ahead and trade Dak away for a whole bunch of other picks or whatever to another team, and you come on here and get this current roster to the Super Bowl. But it's not next year yet, but that's just my 2 cents.
I could go now. Let me go right now.
Enjoy.
This is my team. I picked them to win this football game. I was skeptical from the beginning because of Dak, and the one thing we haven't seen from Dak all season is being consistent. We saw what he did against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the week before, and he had great numbers. But the one thing I kept telling you guys was he didn't have any turnovers. And for 8 straight games during the season, he had a turnover. Hell, he had 3 turnovers in the Tennessee Titan game. He almost gave that game away. And a game they needed to stay in the not playoff picture, but the NFC East race to win that division. That's the sad part. I was hoping that he showed up. I was hoping his team showed up in this game. It's been 27 years. 27 years you're playing against the 49ers, a team you played last season, and it was a close game in that situation, but you were playing at home, and the way you lost the game when Dak was driving down the field and didn't know to give the ball to the referee so he could clock the ball and they could get one more playoff. That was last season. I thought he would learn a lot from what happened last season. This year they came in. Defense played great. You got to give the defense their props in this football game. They didn't get any turnovers on the defensive side. I would have been happier with a turnover, but they kept the game close, especially when your quarterback turned the ball over twice in the first half, one inside your own 40, giving them San Francisco an easy chance to even score a touchdown. They held them to a field goal there, but then the one before the half, where they were the Cowboys driving down the field, they're inside the 25-yard line. You're in the red zone situation. You can't make mistakes like that. That's points. You take it off the board, and Dak made the critical mistake. They lost Pollard on that same drive with the high ankle sprain. But still, the situation was, don't turn the ball over. Get your 3 points.
Right.
Because that's the kind of game you were playing with the 49ers. It was a more defensive game than anything. But he's been the killer all season long. And I think the best part was when we saw them play great football was with Cooper Rush. I don't want to see Cooper Rush. I ain't saying that. But they played better football with Cooper Rush.
Well, keep in mind, even though he hit 2 field goals this game, that extra point or the field goal wasn't the option because of Maher and the kicker situation.
The block kick.
Because even that block kick would have missed. That block kick would have missed.
Well, Rock, I was going to say, I also picked the Cowboys. I watched that entire game. I just, it's weird to see Dallas be this consistently losing in the playoffs. I've heard the last 7 years being in Dallas how Dallas fans, I laugh at Super Day, man, y'all too hard on them, y'all too. But I think I'm starting to understand who wants their team to be all good all season and then completely, like, now at this point, they known as choking in the playoffs, dog. And really, like you said, the quarterback get all the love, but the quarterback catch all them boos too. I'm a Dak Prescott fan. His brother committed suicide. His mother died of cancer. He has done nothing wrong off the field except having a pit bull in a condominium. And a great guy, great guy. But he is not an elite quarterback. You know what Dak Prescott is? He's Derek Carr.
There you go. That's a good assumption.
I agree with that. I'm gonna say this about Dak. The one thing, and we didn't mention this last week, and I should have brought it up when in the Tampa Bay game when Brett Maher missed the 3rd field goal. You saw Dak slam his helmet on the bench on the sideline.
Yeah.
Now, when Dak threw his 2nd interception right before the half, we should have saw Brett throw his helmet on the bench on the sideline because he can do that for 8 straight games. That's all we've seen from Dak. turnover after turnover after turnover. Please.
Listen, Dak should have threw 4 interceptions that game.
Oh,
They dropped 2 of them.
He had a pick
dropped
6
2
going
of
the
them.
other way. He had a pick 6 going the way. And he talked about the interception problem, and he said everything would change next season.
Yeah, the first one, I guess you just hitched one too many times. I guess MG, understandably hitching 3 times, thought I was going to go on a scramble, and the guy just came back to the ball, made a play. I've got to throw that one away or use my feet, get out of the pocket. And then on the second one, nickel squeezed. Yeah, try to throw a loaded CD, but I mean he was able to make a play on it, tip it up in the air, and tip it to the mic. Just 2 throws that I can't have. You can't have in the playoffs. You can't have when you're trying to beat a team like that. You can't have on the road. And yeah, no excuses for that. Those 2 are 100% on me.
Oh, really? On you? Please, it is on you.
Okay, he identified the 2. What about the other 2 that should have been picked? I mean, like, come on, man. Listen. Did y'all see Michael Parsons after the game? What he said?
What happened?
He said we held the 49ers to 1 touchdown. We kept Debo and we kept McCaffrey in check. We were in the game. It was a winnable game. And he threw a little shade. He threw a little shade at Dak. He said, but we had 2 interceptions.
Yeah, I missed that part, but I thought you was going somewhere with it, like using that as an excuse. Like we were in the
no.
At the end
Parsons tell you exactly what he feels.
Right.
That might have been the right time to do that at that particular time, but he was being truthful. You can't sugarcoat.
Well, you know, defensive, it's really weird. Defensive players and offensive players is like Crips and Bloods. Nobody cared. But listen, I 3 and out. I did my part as linebacker. I did my part. Now, why am I back out here again? Because y'all going 3 and out too. We doing our part. How many times do we got to get to the quarterback and cause distractions just to sit on the side and watch the offense not get a first down? Like that is frustrating after a while. That is, and then these guys get paid money we could never even fathom, dog. It's frustrating watching the kids do it when they're 7 years old. Now imagine this dude who I did my job the whole game and we lost.
You scored 12 points. Your offense scores 12 points. I blame McCarthy. I blame the offensive coordinator,
Kellen Moore,
and I blame Dak.
But why you gonna blame them? Why can't you just give props to San Francisco defense?
Wait a minute, Rocky. Wait a minute. No, let's blame Kellen Moore. What was going on with 70 seconds left in the game?
We got to that play.
The Cowboys messed off 51 seconds, dog. I couldn't understand. I was so mad at the offensive coordinator.
They didn't do anything, Rock. That's the problem. He's been inconsistent the entire year. We always see this with the Cowboys the last 2 or 3 years. They've always had the number 1 offense. Always. But it doesn't show up when it's time in the big games against big teams like Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts, or like with this team, the 49ers we just saw in the playoffs. They don't show up then. I think he needs to be gone. I don't know if Jerry's gonna get rid of McCarthy because he said he wouldn't, but I think Dak needs a change. But you can't get rid of him. You're locked to him for next season.
Yeah, he got 1 more year. Yeah,
he's getting $50 million next year. He's guaranteed that.
He gonna get the franchise tag 1 more year, and then they gonna deal him off.
But who wants your jump?
I mean, Dak. Like I said, Dak is still a very good quarterback. Okay, don't get it twisted.
What I'm saying is, who wants your junk when they got to pay the same amount you're paying? You don't want to pay for that. You're not paying for that.
We're gonna find out next year. But let me say, San Francisco almost tried to give the game back to Dallas because Mitchell ran out of bounds when he could have iced the game up the sideline.
God, you know,
that's the hard part about it. It was a winnable game. It was a winnable game.
The San Francisco side, and the whole team was like,
"Get out!
Why you come out of bounds, dog?"
And get back on the Kellen Moore on that last drive, the last play. What the hell was that? Where you have Zeke at center?
Hey, that was a trick play. That's a flag football trick play. Then listen, you got to go 80 yards down the field.
He
You
said
gotta come up with
flag with an L. He said flag with an L. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Did you see how Turner? What's that boy name? The boy that was the XFL MVP, the kickoff
He got
return dude.
lit. Yeah.
A snot bubble. A snot bubble, dog. In the game.
But did you see on that last play that the one that he said you see in flag football?
Yeah.
Where Zeke is playing the center.
Right.
Zeke got lit up. Zeke got put on his ass.
Yeah,
you
you got a 300-pound dude coming at you, bro.
Exactly. What are you doing?
But it had to go 80 yards, man. They had to get some type of creative play, and they couldn't get it going.
But the drive before that, they couldn't do anything with 3 plays. They wasted a drive, a series before that. That's how bad the Cowboys are right now.
Well,
and they got a lot of work to do, but I think you got to get rid of the offensive coordinator. You need a change on that offensive side because somebody has to get clear to DAK. He has to be a better quarterback.
I think Kellen Moore's probably gonna get a head coaching job like very, very soon somewhere.
Somebody missing guys. He was missing guys out there too. It wasn't just the interception. He had guys open and he wasn't hitting them. He had happy feet too in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Kansas City, Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati done beat Kansas City 3 times in a row. Is this gonna be number 4? Sometimes you just gotta say, my team's better than yours. I don't care how many times we play, I'm gonna win the game. Or sometimes you got to say, there's no way that this team is going to beat Kansas City 4 times in a row. It's like almost impossible. What side are you on? I'll go first. Listen, I picked Buffalo to win the Super Bowl. Cincinnati beat Buffalo. So I got Cincinnati beating Kansas City a 4th time in a row, and they're going to truck their way to the Super Bowl.
So, not a Chiefs fan at all, but don't hate them. I hate the Broncos. I'm happy for the Chiefs. I just wish it wasn't in my damn division. I'm going with Kansas City. I know Patrick Mahomes has a chip, MVP, blah, blah, blah. But if you can't win this game, he don't care. That MVP that he get, the little asterisk, he don't care, dog. He's a winner. Patrick Mahomes is a winner, and we all just got to know that. Joe Burrows is not soft. It's something about the Bengals are playing like how everybody want the Lions to play. Like the Bengals were sorry forever, and now they finally got sweet. If you a Bengal fan, you gotta be happy because your grandfather was watching the Bengals lose. Your daddy was taking you to Bengal games and they ain't never win. And now that you got kids, the Bengals is doing everything that your great-grandfather wanted them to do. But Kansas City has a fan base and they got a team, man, that I believe, I don't care. I believe that they shouldn't let the Bengals beat them again. Dave?
You going with Kansas City?
That's what he said.
Okay. I'll make it simple. I'm going with Cincinnati. I've been with them the last few weeks, and they've won 11 straight games. They're going to make it 12. I think the biggest key about this game is what you doing?
Go ahead and finish your thought, man. But okay, go ahead and finish.
No, go ahead.
I got to call you out, man.
Call me out.
You said it. You said I've been with them for the last few weeks, which you have. So okay. I give it to you. But early in the season, you was like, "Oh, Cincinnati's not the same team. Cincinnati's not that good. It's not that same Super Bowl team. They're not going to be." You said that early on in the season.
Okay. Have you changed your pick before?
Of course.
Okay, then. This is 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I've said they look better. They didn't look good the first 4 weeks of the season. Dallas beat them with Cooper Rush the first 4 weeks of the season. They were not a good football team. They were living off what happened last season when they went to the Super Bowl. They finally got it together. They are the better team right now. And I think the other part is when you look at Kansas City Chiefs, we don't know how healthy Patrick Mahomes is. A hot ankle sprain, I'm bringing pressure every single time.
Bringing the house.
I'm bringing the house. I want to see what he can do. I want to see if he can move. We saw what Cincinnati did to Josh Allen. And Josh Allen is a running quarterback.
Right.
I want to see what they do to Patrick Mahomes. And again, they beat him 3 straight times. That's going to be in Kansas City's head. And I don't care if you're playing at Arrowhead or you're playing in Cincinnati. Bottom line is, we know we can beat y'all anywhere.
Yeah, sometimes you're just a better team, and I really believe Cincinnati's better than Kansas City, even with a healthy Patrick Mahomes, and he ain't even gonna be healthy. So it is what it is, man. San Francisco and Philadelphia. Oh, go ahead, Griff, you back.
I said I had Kansas City in that game. San Francisco, Philadelphia. This game's going to be fun because the Philadelphia fans are the Raiders of the East. They are some disrespectful fans. They don't have love for nobody that come into the link. I love my son is an Eagle fan. The crap he been talking all season to me. I pray that the Eagles win. I hate the 49ers, like the Broncos. I hope the 49ers get the same thing the Giants got, because the Giants quarterback is way better than the 49ers quarterback. How about that? I'm picking Philly. Fly, Eagles, fly.
EAGLES. Eagles, Eagles, Eagles. Listen, man. In the words of the homie Stephen A. Smith, when he's referring to the Cowboys, be patient. Be patient. And that's what I've been saying about Philly. Listen, love Jalen Hurts. I'm rooting for Jalen Hurts. I hope Jalen Hurts get the victory and get to the Super Bowl. But I think this is the week that something happens and the whole thing just implodes. San Francisco is just too balanced. And listen, man, I'm jumping on the doggone Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. He's too calm and cool. They both. It's funny how Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy are similar. Like they always cool under pressure. Don't nothing shake them. They got that stoic look about themselves. No matter what's going on, they both move around the pocket. They both get yards with their feet. This is gonna be a pretty evenly matched game. Like the 49ers and Philly got both balanced attack type situations on offense, and they both got pretty good defenses. So I just think San Fran is for real, man. I think Shanahan's gonna have some tricks up his sleeve, and they're gonna win this game. It's not gonna be a blowout, but I got San Fran.
I'm gonna say this: Jalen Hurts got the best of Brock Purdy when Jalen Hurts was at Oklahoma in 2019, and Purdy was at Iowa State, and that game came down to a
Bring it back, Dave. Bring it back, homie.
42-41. Jalen Hurts over Brock Purdy in Iowa State. But Iowa State, Brock Purdy had 5 touchdowns in that game. 5. Count them. I'm telling you this right now.
Come on. Payback.
I hate the Eagles.
Payback.
I got to make the right choice because I can't just say I hate the Eagles. I think right now, after what I saw with the 49ers and what I've seen the last 12 games, they won 12 games straight. But what I saw with what they did against the Cowboys, I got the 49ers in this game. I think they're a more physical team, and I think they can contain Jalen Hurts with that defense. That defense sometimes looks like they got 12 guys on the field. It looks like they're cheating on the field. 12 guys. And then you come in with your third string quarterback. Listen to this. You start off with who? Trey Lance at the beginning of the season.
Who's going to be finding a new home soon?
Exactly. But then you come down to your third round pick. I mean, your third string quarterback and Brock Purdy, and he got you to the NFC Championship game. The Cowboys should be ashamed. Brock Purdy only took 1 year to get to the NFC Championship game. The Cowboys still taking 27 years. 27.
Hey, man.
It's going on 30. It's going to be 30 years.
So
I feel like a Raider fan.
We got, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Historian, Cincinnati, San Francisco Super Bowl. That's our prediction. That was 86, right?
Not at all. Let me tell you how I know exactly when that game is. I met my first wife when I was 18 in 1990 in January in the game that Boomer Esiason played in that game. That was 1990.
That wasn't the Super Bowl, was it?
No, not 1990.
It was the Super Bowl in 1990 in San Francisco.
Oh my God,
had
no.
the catch.
No.
Are you sure?
No,
sure?
I'm looking it up.
I
Cincinnati's
met her
last
at
Super
the
Bowl.
Super Bowl party, dog.
But Cincinnati's last Super Bowl was '86, wasn't it?
Yes.
No.
86. Okay.
It was 1990, dog.
Are you sure, dog? Cause wait a minute. Cowboys won 92, 93. Who won 91?
Let's just wait. Pull it up. We'll wait.
Pull it up,
Then I'll
Dave.
edit it. Go pull it up.
Cincinnati at 90? I don't know if I remember that one, dog.
January
Oh,
of 90, I was in the Army. I was watching it in the barracks. Big Super Bowl party for the military guys. Yep.
Cincinnati, San Fran. That was a Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
Dave, what you got, man? Talk to us.
It's not the 90s. I can tell you that now. I'm looking at it right now.
It's
Hold on.
86, man. I'm telling you it's 86.
Yeah, I remember. I'm with you, Rock. I'm with you. 1982. 1982. Hold on. My phone is freaking disappearing.
Dog, I met my first wife at the Super Bowl party when the 49ers played the Bengals. I promise you.
Let's see here, man.
When you use the internet, all these little pop-ups come up. 1982. 1982 was the one.
No,
1989.
90.
1989.
89. That's what it was. 89. Because
89 is 1990. 89 is
90 was 70 was San Francisco and Denver Broncos. It's two different years.
No, that.
Yeah.
Okay.
1990 was San Fran versus Denver.
And in 1989, I graduated from high school in June. The Super Bowl was in January back then. You're counting the 89 season that played in 90, though. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but I'm just telling you what they got on the thing. 1989. I'm not saying
No. It's the 89. I know what y'all saying, but I know what I'm talking about.
No, you're right. You good. You good.
And your ex-wife, she's going, why is he bringing that up? I don't want to do
Yeah, like come on,
Look,
man.
and then for her, she go, oh no, not this damn Super Bowl again.
So there, man. Me and Dave got San Fran, Cincinnati. Griff got who you got? Philly, KC,
Philadelphia, Kansas City, and I will say Kansas City will get that coveted Super Bowl again.
I'm gonna hold my opinion on the Super Bowl. Let's get through this week first. All right, so there it is. Let's get ready to get into Shannon Sharpe. He apologized for causing some ruckus, had a little altercation at a basketball game, Lakers versus Memphis. Matter of fact, Ja Morant's dad. We're going to get into that and give you our thoughts and opinions about that situation. All right, so Shannon Sharpe went to the Lakers-Memphis Grizz game in L.A., and, of course, he's courtside. We all know that there's a lot of bickering that go back and forth, not only with the players, but also celebrities be out there, fans be out there talking trash to the players and all that, and vice versa. Ja Morant's dad is known to always be in the mix of trash talking, kind of in a cool, friendly type way. That like my son is one of the coldest players out there, which he is. So I guess they got the yapping to Shannon Sharpe, players, and then Ja Morant, and it went from friendly yapping to it's now Shannon standing up on the sideline. Players trying to hold him back, fans trying to hold him back, security trying to.
Shannon told the boy that was holding LeBron, you can't hold LeBron, and you've been getting dusted all game. And the boy was like, man, F you, woo, woo, woo. And Shannon was like, do something. The first person to come over was the center from New Zealand. He came over first while they was holding him back. While they was holding him back, then Morant's dad was like, oh, man, y'all out there. What sucks about this game is that would have been Memphis's 12th win in a row, and they would have they had tied for 11 in a row, but they would have beat their franchise record. And Memphis is really the second best team in the West, only a smidget behind the Nuggets, and the whole game was about Shannon.
Yeah.
He was wrong. Just say it. He was wrong.
And he apologized. He admitted he was wrong.
Okay, that's a company apology. That's fine.
Man. We know
Spike Lee is at every New York Knicks game talking crazy to whoever played the Knicks, and he ain't never got to have people hold him back. He been doing that our whole lives.
Shannon wanted to fight. He wanted to fight somebody. He had no business. I know he's down with LeBron James. We know he loved LeBron James. But at the end of the day, you say something to a player that's actually playing the game, and you're telling this guy that you can't hold LeBron. Of course, you're going to get an F-bomb from me. And you're going to say F-bomb back to me. So we're going to start a fight. A fight going to happen. He never should got involved. You're a fan. You are a fan, and any other fan would have been what? Escorted out the game. And you know that.
Well, let me say this, and I'm not saying this happened, but don't be surprised if Shannon was a little tipsy on his bourbon. You know he got that bourbon.
Yeah.
He might have had a couple too many before he went courtside.
I ain't even think about that, dog.
Like,
and
for
then
real,
Shannon,
dog.
I met Shannon Sharpe before a bunch of times in Atlanta. He's not a little fella, dog.
No, you're a big dude.
He got no body fat, and he's a problem. Don't get caught up in what he wearing and what he a real brother, man. He a real brother. Now, I'm with you. I just thought about that, man, because why would you get so mad? Why did it turn into standing up and you halves on the court? Yeah, Shannon was out there a little tipsier than he was supposed to be.
He was sweating a little bit, dog.
He was sweating, but at the end of the day, you make yourself a part of the show. And nobody came out to see Shannon Sharpe. They came out to see the Lakers play the Grizzlies.
Exactly. And I'm with you, Rock, about Ja's dad. Ja's dad is always jokingly saying, your son ain't better than mine, and I don't see your son's daddy out here. There's a whole bunch of mamas like he be playing like that.
He be having fun.
It wasn't like that, and I was glad they apologized in the end. But listen to what LeBron said after the game.
No, I mean, I ride with Shannon 365 days, 66 on a leap year, 24/7. So that's my guy. So I always got his back, and he got mine. So he can talk with the best of them for sure.
So that's LeBron pretty much saying. LeBron pretty much saying he was right.
Here go the double standard though. Here go the double standard though. Jack Nicholson ain't never cussed out another player on. I mean, this is the Staples Center that used to be the forum that every celebrity that is a celebrity who can afford it gets to be on the front row. Now, we already had the incident with Chris Rock and Will Smith, and Shannon just can't do that. Now, Shannon would have been mad if they tased him. He'd have been mad if security, all them little security dudes wasn't. He'd have been mad if the police ran up on him, dropped him to the ground, and we'd have been like, he was on the court. Really? He was on the court. When that boy ran out on the Super Bowl with some pink smoke coming behind him, and then he got laid out, everybody was like, well, he was on the field, though.
And what kind of sweater did Shannon have on?
What the hell was that? He had on a Teddy Ruxpin.
Well, I mean, this all stems from one thing. What? Talking trash. And I'm all for talking trash in sports. Just don't let it get out of hand, but it's part of sports.
He's not a part of the game.
It doesn't matter. Fans talk trash all the time. Fans are going to heckle all the time. He's a fan. He's at the game. Now, should you go on the court? No. Should you, all that? But as far as heckling and talking trash, man, that's part of sports, and that belongs in sports, in my opinion.
And guess what? He was only mad. That brother who was holding LeBron was only mad because Shannon, you out there getting dogged. But guess what? Everybody in the league been getting dogged by that man for the last 18, 19 years. So that ain't nothing that you could be all. I mean, and then now you a diehard crazy Laker fan. I'm for my kids play sports, your daughters play sports, and your sons. Fans know how to talk crazy, high five each other, and then be like, hey, your son had a good hit out there. Oh, your son came back on that one. Like, it's a demeanor to not scare the other people. And basically, Shannon acted a whole gorilla. You don't get to be a gorilla, dog, and then come back to the game like you wasn't a gorilla 15 minutes ago.
Thank you.
I do believe he was sincere with his apology, regardless if it came from someone from his team, PR, the network. I do believe that Shannon Sharpe's integrity is very real, and he really meant well. He really apologized.
I feel like Skip should do him like that.
Skip. Come on, Skip. What do you say, Skip? All right, so let's get into this Ed Reed situation. I guess I could say former head coach of Bethune Cookman, almost head coach of Bethune Cookman University. If you guys ain't seen his rant, check it out.
Yeah, I curse. And y'all done heard curse words before. And they got parents in here. And no, I don't want to leave. And like I told you, I want all these recruits. But they got some corrupt people in this world, some evil people that don't care about kids like I do. So I want y'all to hear the truth from me. I ain't withdrawing my name. I got the receipts. They got all kinds of stuff going on around here. Hoarding these buildings with nothing but trash in them. You understand me? And Dion was right. And I know I'm right. And they got some people in here who be snitching to their ass. And I work amongst Judas as Jesus walked with him. And I ain't have a problem with it.
I know Ed Reed as a defensive player, as a Hall of Famer, you can hear the love he has, the passion that he has for those kids. The frustration comes because everybody doesn't have the situation that Dion had. Everybody didn't put half their salary up to make a HBCU better. HBCUs, although are pushing the best African-American citizens out of the United States, they struggle in buildings. They struggle in location. They struggle
money.
in money. They struggle. So Ed Reed is coming in like, okay, Dion left. Let it be known there's another black Hall of Famer that's out here looking out for these kids. And Bethune Cookman just wasn't ready. And a lot of HBCUs are not going to be ready for these high talented athletes to come and take over as if they were in college again or in the NFL. I love this passion, but I really love what Dion told that brother, man. Sometimes doors gonna close and you gotta walk away. It's not your time. Maybe Bethune Cookman will be ready in 3 years, 2 years, who knows?
I understand his frustration and what he's dealing with and what he saw at Bethune Cookman, but I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot of that at a lot of HBCUs, and that's because of funding. Money. The big schools are getting money. The small schools, the HBCUs are not. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what you're looking at. I like his passion. I like some of the stuff he said, but it's also a way of handling things as a businessman. He's a head coach. If that's what he was going to be, you handle things in situations where you go talk to that person up front, the dean, the president, whoever it is. Don't put it on social media. We all run to social media. That's the worst thing to do because you can't cancel that message. You don't have anything to cancel that message. Once it's out there, it's out there. And nobody wants to see you blasted in that school like that. That's not business-like. You handle it in a certain situation. You can confront the president or the dean at that particular time, but don't put it on social media. That's where he made the mistake to me.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Keep the private business private. Now, if Bethune Cookman said something on social media or put out a report on social media about Ed Reed and whatever, then I can see how he will want to defend himself.
Yeah,
but I don't think that was the case.
No,
so
he attacked them because of of some of the conditions that he saw at Bethune Cookman.
Right, and this goes back to the class that Deion Sanders has, because I'm sure he could have blasted Jackson State.
Oh yeah, easily.
And he still hasn't, and I don't think he ever will. And it's like, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and exit stage left. You guys keep everything that I brought here to this institution. I'm going to continue to support this institution from afar and just clean it up the best way you can for those kids and those families that's spending their money and their time on this campus. So did Ed Reed ruin it for himself to get another job, maybe at another HBCU? I don't know. It's the jury is out, but
he needs to calm down. If he gets another job, I don't want to say stay low key, but handle in the business way.
Yeah,
more professional.
There's a way.
It's not the football field.
And I'm pretty sure Deion probably, even though we heard and seen what he said about sometimes you got to just walk away, and I understand your frustrations. He probably also called him back off the record and said, "Bro, you can't put it out there like that. There's a way to do things, So yeah. So I mean, it is what it is, man. We pray for Ed. We know his heart is in the right place, and we hope he does get an opportunity to get into one of those universities.
Hey, as grown men, in South Africa, when we watch soccer games and we go out, sometimes we put all the dudes put their phones in a basket. Leave your phone in this basket till after the match. Not just, and I like it because some things ain't. I mean, come on, man. The things we say outside of the I Hate the Homies podcast ain't for people to hear. We letting you hear what we want to talk about during the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to know everything. We'll give you a glimpse, but you don't. I mean, hell, I'm on an inspirational show and I cuss. I'm not putting myself cussing.
You cuss?
Don't do it.
No.
I'm shocked. You got a poodle.
No.
Cuss, you got a poodle.
Poodles don't cuss.
It's so many cuss words I got for you in my mind right now, babe.
Poodles are soft and cuddly.
Point is, turn your phone off sometimes, man. What's the next story?
All right, so we're gonna finish up with the Eryka Badu and her daughter Puma. She released she releasing a new album, and Eryka and her daughter Puma took a photo of their rear ends. That's it, pretty much. And then the internet went crazy. So they're, it's like mom and daughter showing off their rear ends. Why would mom show off her daughter's rear end and they comparing them like the size of it? And then the internet went nuts. The people that love it said, "Oh, I see you. Go ahead, girl." But the people that don't like it saying, "This is why our daughters are growing up to be thoughts." And it just kind of went more to that end.
Well, the daughter said, Puma said they were promoting the pants that you see. I'm not looking at the pants. I'm not looking at the daughter either. I didn't know Eryka Badu. Well, I should have known that. She's from South Dallas. That's a lot of meat and potatoes back there. They look no comment.
But if they promoting the pants,
Eryka Badu like to wear sheer robes and she be covering that thing up.
Yeah, I never seen it. I never had no, and I saw it today, and I was like, God, dog, man.
My daughter and her mom, pretty ladies. They take a lot of pictures together, but I ain't never seen them turn around and say, "Look at our butts."
Because you can look. If you know Eryka, she's outside of the box.
I mean, she made a candle or incense call her vagina.
Right.
Incense.
Yeah, and she made a video stripping, walking naked, in downtown Dallas. So, but that's Eryka. She's always flamboyant. She's always out of the box. She's like, I don't care what nobody think about me, and I'm gonna be me. And she has a great relationship with all of her kids. You know what I'm saying? And all of her kids have a great relationship with her, and they love her to death, and they love her originality and who she is. Who cares what everybody else thinks? So, like, listen.
Bottom line, her record's coming out. Y'all all talking about her. More sales. Way to go, Eryka. Done.
There it is.
Are we talking about Eryka or are we talking about that ass? Which one we doing?
Say, man, I ain't about to say nothing about her daughter.
I ain't saying about her daughter. I ain't going with the daughter thing.
Are you talking about Eryka?
How old is the daughter?
18.
Oh yeah, I ain't looking at no kids.
Exactly. That's a kid. That's a kid.
But I guess the pants were dope. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
there it is, man. I hate the homies. That's a wrap, man. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget to always subscribe, download, and the 5-star reviews are dope. Keep them coming. Because of that is why we do what we do. All right. My name is Rock Teasy for Sheezy.
It's your boy Griff. By the time y'all listen to this, after the editing and everything, I will be an official resident of the ATL once again, and I hate the homies.
And it's your boy Super Dave. We might not ever see Griff's wife or daughter taking a picture like Eryka Badu. We might see Griff taking a picture like that. And I don't think nobody wants to see that. Nobody.
It's going to be him and his poodle taking that picture like that.
Hey,
Guess what?
Super Dave, this is what me and Rock T can do.
Right.
That's all you got. That's all you got. Where the poodle at? Show the poodle, man. Show the poodle. Show that.
The poodle, man. The poodle.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is, man. I hate the homies. Deuces. We out.
2 fingers.
I hate the homies.